Knock on wood.
Yes. Oh, now it is.
He makes those stickers.
Good evening, everyone. It is 6 o'clock on Wednesday, March 4th, 2026, and I would like to begin our regular workshop. Our first item this evening is review of Lake Fork Housing Project conceptual design. Lex?
Yeah, the design and engineering team's at a point where they wanted the schematic review by leadership to see if they had any comments or feedback on it before they move forward with civil engineering. It's something that I had sent over to the historic preservation today. I had thought the architects had already reached out to them, but after talking to Joe today, they hadn't received anything yet. But overall, it's an action item tonight just to get the approval to move forward. If y'all have any comments, I can take them and provide that to them. And yeah, it's actually looking pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, got a chance to go through all those plans. First, I think it looks great. My only one concern still, and we'll see, but there's a entry door on the north side of that far building. And having lived in two homes with north facing front doors, that concerns me a little bit, but that's just my one concern. Trustee Woods?
So, I just want to say that as I understood it, that housing plan that we adopted was building the new buildings was the last resort on that. We had all the four, that was the fourth alternative that was the most expensive and like the last resort. And the first three, I thought, as I understood it, we were going to pursue the first three alternatives first.
So may I? Yeah. That's why we're going to be hiring a housing coordinator. I touch on that. I mean, touch on it to some degree in my report, but the idea is to use the local planning capacity incentive funding to hire a housing coordinator to implement those strategies and implement those first two things. One of the other things that they would be working on too, potentially, which at the joint workshop next week is something we'll be discussing with the county commissioners, is the implementation of, or really they would be seeking funding and developing the relationships, doing everything necessary to possibly start building some of these. While at the same time working on all those other policy initiatives and programs that are in the plan. And in my report too, I mentioned my capstone project, which I think I'm going to end up doing it on a phase 1 14 unit development readiness and financial strategy. So that's something that we can implement, or like I'll get that done in two or so months. And that's something that either we can begin to implement or I can begin to implement before we hire a coordinator, or when the coordinator gets in, we can just hand that to them so that they can get off the ground running. So yes, the housing coordinator is going to implement the plan and those other strategies. But this is one of the main projects still, where one of the few places where we have the opportunity for development. So if we can find a way to afford it, if we need to phase it out, do it in multiple phases, then that's what we'll have to do.
Correct me if I'm wrong, but our action item tonight is that we finished that work with those folks, and this is wrapping up.
The planning people? No. This is the design and engineering team.
Right.
Yeah,
As
yeah.
far as approving the plans.
The plan's done it.
They have done it.
Yeah, that's all.
So we're accepting those plans.
We've already accepted the housing plan. This is from the design and engineering team.
Right.
And this is like where they're at a certain point in the design of it.
And
Where,
that was a different grant.
yes, it was a different grant. It was the More Housing Now grant.
Right.
Correct.
Thank you.
Right.
And they just happen to have one of the
Yeah,
consultants.
it just helps separate those two
Gotcha.
threads for me.
My point is this is closing out that part of the process.
This is in closing out that process. We closed that out with adopting the plan last time. So this is another consulting team designing this independent of the plan.
Right.
Yeah. So this, we're not going to get construction documents for this till the end of the year. So they're at like I think it's a 35% design review point where it was to go back to leadership to get their opinions and feedback on it.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. So this is separate from the housing plan.
Right.
This project is in the housing plan, but it's separate from it in terms of the design and engineering.
Excuse me, what I was trying to say is what we're doing this evening is approving the project conceptual design.
The schematic review, correct. That's correct.
So you're talking about, oh, sorry,
Go ahead.
you're talking about doing it in increments if we do this. So maybe this building with 4 on top and 4 on bottom, build one complex first.
Right.
And then in the future, possibly just, we'd have to pour the concrete, of course, but I mean, for the parking lot at least. But I'm assuming we just built, there's the units in the back right along the road.
Those are really the most, like the rental units with the greatest diversity in them. And so it would make sense to start with the ones in the rear, which is for a future discussion, but
And they're smaller. I mean, it's a smaller building.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, and they're actually designed so that you can build one and then when you go to build the other one, you can just put it right beside it.
Yeah.
So they're kind of designed to be able to build as many as you can, and then you can pick up where you left off whenever you come up with the
Yeah.
money.
Yeah.
And also, like with 14 units, we'll see the absorption rate, like how fast they fill up.
Yeah.
And so that way we're not left with empty units. And it's probably more financially feasible to come up with enough to build 14 than it is 28.
Yeah. So it'd be a single story.
No, these are all double story.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because this one looks like it's 8 units.
It is.
But along the river, both of them.
Yes,
Top and bottom.
yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
So maybe we start,
Get river
so
units.
maybe we start with 16.
Maybe. I mean, that's yet to be seen. Once we really get into the details of the pro forma and like what we think the cost is going to be, and we start going after the funding, that's when you really get dialed into like how much we can possibly do.
Well, that's not for tonight.
No.
No.
But overall, did y'all have any other comments or feedback on the current design?
Looks so
I
good.
jumped ahead and shared my one little concern.
Yeah.
Trustee Wood?
I just want to reiterate, I think hope that the ones that are closest to the medical center will be ADA units, so that
Maybe
they could
downstairs.
double as a assisted living for seniors.
Independent.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, not assisted, but independent living.
Yeah.
Yeah, there will be a certain amount of ADA ones.
Senior housing.
Yeah, there'll be a certain amount of those. But that's still quite a bit down the road.
Yeah, this is affordable housing
Right.
for anybody.
I
Right.
listened to Henry talk about senior housing in that spot for 30 years. I've been in town.
Yeah.
Oh, my
Talking
goodness.
about it the whole time.
Oh, my goodness.
And all the way through this process, it's been brought up.
Yes,
that Part of it should be for senior housing.
yes. It's
Like it.
good to have a focus.
Yes.
Anybody else have any other?
I might get old someday.
You never know. It creeps up on us. Do any trustees have any other thoughts or comments
I have,
on these plans?
I've had a lot of people approach me about the survey. And they said, I didn't get a survey.
Okay.
Yeah.
So my post on Lake City Locals and Friends has been pending for 2 days. So I published it I published it on our website. I put it out to the distribution list, and then I posted on at Lake City Locals and Friends.
Yeah.
I think it did just get approved a little bit ago because I was asking, and then I'm thinking about asking to see if maybe I or Sandy and I can be moderators for it. Because there's definitely like a day or two delay before things
Yeah.
get approved, and we're doing emergency notices like of a water outage
Or a flood scare,
or
or anything.
anything.
Yeah.
We need to be able to approve our emergency notices immediately. But
Yeah.
anyways,
I agree.
so I did attempt to put it out more further,
Yeah.
like broader through Lake City Locals Friends. It just was sitting there waiting to be pinned for almost 2 days.
Okay.
Okay, the original survey from the consultants or?
Yeah, from the housing
Sure.
plan.
Just recently.
My January, February newsletter that I put out
Yeah, yeah.
earlier this week.
Said
It was-
something about.
It was highlighting the housing and employer survey,
Yeah.
and the housing study results and implications. So it was just in 5 pages, it was kind of just highlighting that part of the plan and then also referencing the plan so that hopefully people use the link to go read the plan.
Well, I hear somebody wrote a really good story for the paper about.
Good. Well, write a story about our town website where people can find newsletters and
Heard
notices
that?
in the municipal code.
That's a rumor.
Uh,
Which paper?
Thank you.
Not the Gunnison Country John.
All right, anybody else have any comments on this? To me, this is the next step in the process.
Yeah.
We need to approve the conceptual designs, and I think they did a fantastic job.
Yeah,
I like the way it looks.
I just want to kind of piggyback on what Lex was saying about how it's not that we're not doing the other things, but this is going to be a long process. And we need to get it started as soon as possible because we're going to be working on the other things. It'll give us, a kind of an end goal. Like in the end, we're going to be building a bunch of buildings.
Yeah.
But in the meanwhile, we're going to see how we can develop our housing inventory using other strategies presented to us. Did that help? You're just.
So that this detention pond, is that what it's called?
It's for the stormwater. To meet the stormwater regulations, they'll have to redirect that stormwater into this detention basin. And then from there, I don't know, I guess it's slowly released into the river. But because the other option would be to put it underneath the parking lot, but then the cost goes way up for that retention basin.
So that's gonna go over to where that wetlands.
It would go into the 8th Street right away is what they're proposing. Yeah. It would go into 8th Street. Not into the wetlands. We're not manipulating the wetlands at all. We're working around the wetlands.
Okay.
So-
Here. You see where it's going.
Okay, anything else? Hearing and seeing none. That is an action item this evening. To approve that conceptual design. We're gonna move on. Our next item is discuss sheriff IGA and enforcement of town ordinances. Lex?
So apparently the county insurance company will not provide liability insurance that covers the enforcement of town ordinances.
Correct.
The way that it reads is that all the town ordinances or all the county resolutions that mirror the town ordinances would be enforced. And the only 2 town ordinances, would not be enforced. The dog ordinances, which has never really been classically enforced anyway. The parking and abandonment addition to our model traffic code, which we do not have a secure site to tow vehicles and there's no one really to tow them. So, and then the other one is just on the OHV regulations, we have those hours of operation, which is unique from the county. So really, that's the only things that wouldn't be enforced, or at least wouldn't be in the IGA for them to enforce. If we agreed with the most recent red line that came from the county attorney. Dan, did you want to talk about the edits that Michael made?
Yeah, I think most of them are reasonable. I kind of thought that their insurance company might say that. I think you did a good job of summarizing it. to the extent that they need our authority to have jurisdiction, I would recommend that we petition the county to say, we want you to enforce your resolutions throughout the entire county. And I think that this is a good compromise. I don't want to jinx it, but I think we're there.
And, so I did see the part where he added about the county resolutions that have jurisdiction within the town. And I don't know, I don't know if that means like simply all the tickets will be written into the county court under county resolutions or county laws. And then they're written in a way where it only applies to the unincorporated. So if we approve the IGA the way it is, would we also need them to make a change or us pass an additional resolution giving them jurisdiction? I don't know what else we would need to do to make sure the law enforcement is happening legally.
So I guess that's what I was getting at is to the extent that their resolutions are only effective in the unincorporated portions of the county. I think we asked the commissioners to serve all their constituents and enforce their county ordinances throughout the entire county, including Lake City.
Okay.
And I keep saying their ordinances, there's the resolutions, but enforce the county rules throughout. And I think if we can get them to agree to that, I think that we're good to go.
And I think the explanation of that should include, for us, that our ordinances mirror the county ordinances. So it's
Exactly.
right. And last year we had 6 tickets written into the town.
Yeah.
So it's not about the tickets, it's about, or the revenue, it's about keeping the people, taking care of our people and supplying them with the law enforcement that they deserve.
Right.
And so it's really kind of a no-brainer. It's going to save us a lot of money by not having to provide that insurance for our town ordinances, which are the same as theirs.
Right.
So it's about the people.
Dave.
Why
Trustee Wood?
can't we get Searson and just insure them for those 2 items?
They won't, what it's based on is if they're providing a full-time dedicated deputy or part-time dedicated deputy, which all that's been taken out of the agreement. And so the way that it is written, they're not going to require that liability law enforcement insurance. And we weren't even under the old one, the one law enforcement service unit wasn't someone that was dedicated. And, so like it would depend on the terms of the agreement and what's being provided. And this is just general law enforcement. You're enforcing what the county has that mirrors ours, and that's it now. So they're not going to insure us just for the 2 ordinances. It's either going to be a full-time deputy or a part-time deputy.
All or none.
Yeah, that's the only liability insurance they provide.
And it's
It's based on the number of deputies. So if we had 5, it would be 5 times as much, but. Yeah, and I would like to say something else.
Next.
And it's redundant to have insurance companies. Anyway, go ahead.
Yeah, it is redundant to have multiple liability coverage.
Right.
When it's really the same laws that they're enforcing. And, looking at our code, like when the dog ordinance was passed, and maybe y'all know, was there a pound here? Did someone start running a pound? Did the town
No.
open a pound?
No,
No. Okay. And
there
so,
was a cage at the sheriff's office.
Ron had a
A
crane.
tiny little
Okay,
cage.
one at a time.
yeah, no, I did ask, but,
Sorry.
so anyways, but the way it reads is a pound, that there's gonna be a pound somewhere. And even though with the parking and abandonment of vehicles, it was to be to be towed to a secure location in the county, somewhere in the county. And there is no secure location. I couldn't find anything, and Michelle may correct me, but I couldn't find anything that was even attempting to set up a secure place and put location in the county. So there's definitely been these times where the town has had these ideas but then really the fun, the practical logistics of it just wasn't there. And so, you know, like even the enforcement of the dog ordinances, at least since I've been here, I think we got 3 from Cambish. And that was after people's dogs got out multiple times in a row. But besides that, no sheriff has wanted to be a dog catcher. So there's just some impractical things that are in our code that if it's just unique to us and they classically haven't enforced it anyway, even with the old IGA, what's the point of continuing to have them enforce that or want them to?
And I do remember, no, there was 1 or 2 times where something was impounded and they put it over at the county yard,
Okay.
but
Yeah.
it's not
But-
over there.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's the county yard, not the town yard.
Yeah, but it's still that part of the model traffic code is something enforced by the sheriff, even though the town's involved trying to contact the owner and publishing notices and stuff. So, yeah.
Okay, any other trustees have any other comments on that? I would just say I'm happy we're getting close and we'll be very happy when this is done. So we can work on other things from that.
And it sounded like they agreed to the amount as well.
Yes.
And so that,
Reluctantly. Reluctantly.
yes.
Yeah.
And are we gonna deal with the dates?
No, I mean, the dates, it would be the day from when we sign it to the end of the year. If,
Okay,
since they were marking that out and they were talking about wondering if we wanted that 70 grand prorated. And I had told Sandy later in the day that, no, that was just for the contract for the year, regardless of when we sign it or not.
sounds good to me.
All right. No other discussion on that. Our next item is discuss the dirt mini grant proposal for the town park playground. I don't know if you got to look that over. It looks like the additional funding.
And I think we should give that to Lex, because he's familiar with it, aren't you?
I mean, we got one last year. It's a 50-50 match. There's been plenty of other funds that have been raised and donated to match that. And yeah, so it's just a 50-50 match. We're getting another 15 grand from the dirt mini grant. And we got one last year as well. So it's helping close the gap.
I apologize, because Christy had called me and asked me to do it, and I was looking at it going, I mean, I know that I voted on the dirt board to approve it, but I'm not, I don't have all the details in my head.
Right.
And I knew Lex did.
Those aren't really good details, but that's the sum of it is,
It helps us get one step closer to getting our playground.
yes.
That's the important part.
And I think, Dave, the last I heard, we're like 32,000 short right now. And we're just moving ahead. We keep getting donations, but we still need more.
Right. I got another thing to add to that.
Go ahead.
Because I forgot to put in my report. We're looking at starting to do the groundwork for the new playground, removing the old one, removing doing all the dirt work, including removing the mulch and making sure that the area is the right, has the right square footage and has the right depth. But Willie should be returning to work next week, and everybody's working on it next week doing that.
Yeah, I know the commissioner had some discussion on that, but it sounds like our guys are gonna be doing the majority of that.
Yeah, we just need to figure out where we're going to take all this playground equipment to. And we need to probably get a roll off to put it in, and figure out where we can take it. And then we might have to separate all the plastic parts from the metal parts and figure out where to take it.
Yeah, if I recall, Commissioner Ferd addressed that particular issue during their workshop and was talking about how, in his opinion, it wouldn't be that big a deal to just plop it out of the ground and cut the concrete off, throw that away in the open bin, get the metal, squish it all up, goes in the metal pile, and any plastic bits go in the open bin as well.
Okay, at here locally.
Yeah,
Wow.
Okay.
yeah, because I thought that was really great. Yeah, I have to pay attention to every word they say. So, Yeah, so and the way, of course, the way he described it, it's like bing, bang, boom.
I know,
So,
yeah,
The concrete was concerning.
yeah, he said, I've been through this. You like you pull it up with your backhoe and then you just cut it off with a grinding wheel or whatever. And then that goes in the open bin, or you use it for a filler somewhere if you need chunks of concrete
yeah,
or whatever.
Wow.
yes, yeah, just the logistics of pulling it out, where we're gonna put it, how we're gonna get it. there.
Yeah, I don't
Yeah.
think it's as daunting as you might think, so.
Well, I think most of it our guys can handle. Actually, this evening, it is an action item and it's in regards to that, grant. Anybody
Yes.
have any questions or comments in regards to approving that grant?
Right.
Okay, thank you. We will move on to discuss the Hinsdale County / town Lake City evacuation plan.
That this is something that we were working on early last year. It was sent out for comments to all the different organizations that are within it. And it kind of just fell off everybody's radar. But it's something that needed to be updated, and Phil reminded us of this. And so the county today approved the evacuation plan, and this is also on our agenda as well, since this has been pending since April of last year.
I did notice the date.
They approved the same one.
They won earlier today.
I think it's a no-brainer. Questions or comments in regards to that? Okay. That is also an action item this evening. And our last item in the workshop is to discuss county holidays. What's the changes you'd like to propose?
So we're still, Employers Council should be giving us a draft of the review of our personnel policy. And one of the questions that'll end up being a part of that is the holidays. So just to kind of get ahead of it, have a brief discussion. I wanted to see if, like we had talked about Juneteenth being an additional floating holiday instead of just a hard holiday. So I wanted to see if the trustees were still cool with that, it being a floating holiday.
Yeah, good. Henry?
I think, I can't fucking get onto it right now.
You're fine.
I do believe in Juneteenth.
But as a floating holiday where, that way, like I would probably like to work it and then take the holiday a different day when I can, just because no one else is working and I know I'll be left alone. And so there was that one. I just wanted to remind everybody, see if it was cool being a floating holiday so we can integrate that.
I don't think Good Friday should be a holiday.
A half day. Okay. That was one of the county holidays. I just threw it in there to get y'all's opinion.
Yeah,
I think that's already been addressed in a lot of places.
I mean, the county has half a day on that Friday.
Well, we could make Good Friday a floating holiday and do it a half day on Friday.
I don't agree,
I don't think
with all due respect.
Good Friday should be a holiday.
All right.
Okay.
Scratch that. And that's really all I wanted to talk about. It'll still be something that at the end of every year, the trustees would do the same thing as the county, consider the holidays for the coming year, depending on when they fall. But at least this part gives me an idea of what to include in the personnel policy once we get the draft back, and we can talk about that when y'all review that draft that the Employers Council will provide.
Well, it makes sense to me, common sense on these holidays is, there's been times when it's like a federal holiday, but we've been open and these guys can't do anything. They can't bank, they don't get any mail and all that. And that makes sense to me. As far as Good Friday, the county takes it. I don't know personally. So, you guys work hard and, if you can include Juneteenth and you want that as a floater, that's personally fine with me as well.
Me too.
I don't want to denigrate Juneteenth because that's a Texas holiday.
Yeah. Well, when we worked it last year, literally the bank was closed, our attorney was on vacation,
Yeah.
the post office was closed. Yeah,
It's a federal holiday.
I know. Everyone is, except us had the day off, so. But okay, that's all I want to talk about, get y'all thinking about it, so when we circle back to it with the personnel policy.
Yeah, we can finalize it then when we have a full board as well.
Yeah.
Okay, anybody, any trustees have any other questions or comments on that? Hearing none, time 6:29 PM. Made it through a pretty quick workshop. We will take a break until 7 PM and have our regular meeting.
Awesome.
Thank you, everyone. Good evening and welcome, everyone. It is 7:00 PM on Wednesday, March the 4th, 2026. And I would like to call to order the regular meeting of the Lake City Board of Trustees. Let's begin with the Pledge of Allegiance. Lex, would you lead us this evening?
Pledge allegiance
To the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Roll call, please.
Bruce,
Here.
Kendall, Lindsay,
Present.
Woods,
Here.
Weast, Roberts.
Here. Okay, approval of agenda for regular meeting for this evening, March 4th, 2026. I'm not aware of any additions or revisions. I would entertain
I so move. I'll second.
motion in a second. Roll call,
Bruce,
Yes.
Kendall,
Yes.
Lindsay,
Yes.
Woods,
Yes.
Roberts.
yes. Minutes from February 18th meeting. Everybody get a chance to review those in their packet.
I'd like to make a motion to approve the minutes from February 18th, 2026 with the correction of the end time on the workshop being 6:55 instead of 7:37, which was the meeting end time. Ta-da!
What now? Huh? What?
So the end time on the workshop
Uh-huh.
is the,
Oh,
so the meeting end, or the workshop end time should be 6:55.
yeah, that was my fault.
Not only is she trustee spell check, she is trustee corrections.
Thank you.
Good job.
Okay,
Mhm.
we have a motion with one correction.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any discussion? Roll call vote, please.
Bruce,
Yes.
Kendall,
Yes.
Lindsay,
Yes.
Woods,
Yes.
Roberts.
Yes. Next is bills payable for March 4th, 2026. Anyone have any questions or comments on the bill payable? Trustee Wilson.
So this $1,800 for preventive maintenance and full service for the Armory backup generator, is that like an annual?
It's supposed to be done every year. It's a complete load test,
It seems like somebody that's local could do that.
not for the load test,
What's that?
not the load testing, no. And it's something that CERSA requires.
It seems like we could get that cheaper, we have somebody.
And there was also, yeah. I don't know, there are many really willing to come out here, and so
What do you mean the load test?
load test to see that it can, it under a sustained high-end load where it's being tested at its max capacity and how long it'll last. And they test it for like an hour. It's to prove that it's in good functioning order. And it's something that CERSA asks every year for the load test for it. We also had them take a look at the one by Pump House. Which I need to see because I didn't make the bill, so I didn't look at the invoice, but I'll see if that included some service work over there as well.
The bright spot of that is when we had our power failure, ours worked, and they found out a few of them around town
Yeah. Yeah, and the batteries that were on there was one battery. It was still good, but it's about 6 years old and they recommend replacing them every 5 years. So I went ahead and had them replace it. Kept the old one and told the guys, hey, this is a good battery, just keep it charged.
That's good.
Yeah.
I just think that's a lot to have every year.
Yeah, it's gone up every year, just like everything else too.
Any other questions or comments on bills payable?
I would like to make a motion to pay the bills of March 4th, 2026 in the amount of $13,202.03.
Second.
Any questions? I would just reiterate what Jesse said earlier. I think this is one of the lower bills payable we see throughout the year.
Yeah, we expect these every month, every meeting.
We have a motion and a second. Any other comments? Roll call vote, please.
Bruce,
Yes.
Kendall,
Yes.
Lindsay,
Yes.
Woods,
Yes,
and Roberts.
Yes. Our next item is citizens' comments on matters not on the agenda. We don't have any citizens with us in here this evening. Are there any citizens on Zoom that have any comments they would like to make? Seeing no hands and no microphones going on.
Joanne?
Just getting ready. Sometimes the button doesn't work.
All right, we will move on to employer reports. Is Joanne with us this evening?
Yes, sir.
First report is the town engineer. How are you doing this evening?
Good.
You got the opportunity to read your report. Do you have any other news for us?
Things are slowly starting up. They've put some blankets down to try to thaw the ground. I'm going to do that again late this week. And starting next week, I think the plumber is going to be on site, and then they'll start more on the building.
All right. Well, I don't know if you've been around, but it was nearly 60 degrees today, so the ground is already thawed.
Yeah, maybe better off without the blankets.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, any trustees have any questions for Joanne?
Mhm.
All right, well, I hope you're doing well. I think that's it. Unless you have anything else, Joanne?
Nope. Thank you, guys.
Right,
Joanne.
thank you. Yeah, next is the building official report that's in your packet. Pretty quick, short and sweet. We are in that lull time of the year. Anybody have any comments in regards to the building official? Hearing none, we'll move on to park and recreation report. I would just say personally, it's been a rough winter. It's sad to see the ski hill never quite made it there. The guys, I think, did a great job with the ice wall with the conditions that they had. It's short. And, I was over there the other day and I thought, man, it's amazing. You can climb a snow cone. The ice is pretty getting soft, but it's still solid. Yeah, they told me it's good. So, anybody have any questions or comments in regards to Park and Rec?
I'll just say the ice wall did better than yours.
Your eyes never opened, did it?
I think it opened for a little bit,
Oh, did they?
Yeah.
just right at the end, but then they shut
Wow.
down permanently for the year.
I
They're
think
closed already.
Yeah.
goes at first.
Wow,
That's why our restaurants were pretty darn busy, all the climbers.
that's crazy.
Okay, next item is Public Works Report. Everybody get a chance to review that. One thing I noticed, I like when they give us a recap or a comparison to the year before. And interesting how our wastewater is down so much. I don't know if there's less people in town or just exactly why, but
Yeah, I think
We're
it's,
not flushing as much.
All right, anybody have any questions or comments in regards to Public Works? Next, the town clerk treasurer report. Once again, a good report. And busy. Any questions or comments in regards to that? Everybody's tired tonight.
That's, I mean, she does write a good report.
She does.
Yeah.
It's very thorough
Yeah.
and I appreciate that. Okay, next item is town manager, Mr. Lex Mulder.
Well, if you have my report, did a lot of housing stuff recently. I already mentioned the playground earlier, which I did put in it. The Armory apartment, we got the carpet in.
Oh, yeah.
Ben started hanging some drywall and the cabinets. And we're gonna start finishing it out, probably have Danny paint in there soon. We are determining what exactly the parts that we need in order to do the service line, which I'll get that to you soon, Joanne. Couldn't really find anything, but working on it. I asked Dynamic Fire about the size of the service line that it needs to be, if it has to be a 4-inch or not, which I haven't heard back from them yet, so I'm probably gonna give them a call tomorrow. So we're planning on doing the playground removal stuff starting hopefully next week. And then following that, and probably at the end of the month or April, getting the service line put in, get Dynamic Fire back here to finish out the fire suppression system. And once we get the apartment finished out and those final steps, we should be able to get a certificate of occupancy for it. And then I'll have a discussion item on a future agenda for the trustees on how we're going to rent that out. It's looking like Joanne's going to need some summer housing.
Yes.
So, but eventually how we're going to operate or use that, we need to discuss that at some point. Ethan and Joanne have been working on trying to find places to test meters. Ethan did get a hold of Montrose. They do have a meter testing bench set up. We're thinking about sending Willie on March 24th to take some of our brass meters to go get tested to get that data out of it, to see if they're not reporting as much as they should be. As far as master meters being tested at the wells, we haven't been able to find anyone that would come here. There's one company where we can ship it off and they would test it. It would take, it's like a month turnaround time. And so we're trying to figure out we're still considering doing that and how that would work. If we can take the Bluff or the ball field one, put it on the Bluff one, send the Bluff one off, get that back, send the ball field one off, and have that Bluff one operating the whole time, especially when summer kicks up. So we got to kind of decide that soon so that we have them both up and running by the peak season. And yeah,
So nobody wants to come here and test them, huh?
no, they haven't found anybody that does it. You know,
They don't travel, yes.
they'll be happy for us to ship it to them. So we're figuring out the logistics of that. It's kind of like step one to figure out what is our system doing? How is it behaving? Is it the meters, or is meters and leaks, or is it just leaks? And that will all inform our grant applications as we seek funding to try to replace the metering system.
All right. Okay, anybody have questions for Lex?
And they also spoke about the capstone project in my report too. Yeah, which I'll be working on soon, very soon.
All right. And you respond to your email.
I saw that.
Okay. All right, next,
Oh, I'm
Mayor-
sorry. I just
Go
saw
ahead.
something I had a tiny little question about your capstone project. You'll need to get approval from the town about the subject of your capstone.
Because you have to do it for your employer. Because it's supposed to be a project that you can immediately put into use wherever you work.
Mhm.
So you have to get approval from the town, or like for me, the town, which I had asked the mayor to get approval, and I wanted to tell you all about it. And then I have to get approval from the School of Public Affairs as well. But it's supposed to be something that that's going to affect your employer, like immediately after I get it done? Like something the town can use?
It has to be heard. Like,
Yes.
it's not some thought
Experiment, right.
Okay, thank you. I
No
appreciate
problem.
it.
Well, I think it would be a great project because it would help out, the housing coordinator when we get there, kind of laying the framework.
And this is something like a coordinator would do, but if I can, but there's, when the grant cycles start, doesn't mean we're gonna have them and they're gonna be ready for the grant cycle. So I want to be able to kind of think it all through, line it all out, and then, and then either start implementing it before we get them or be able to hand it off and say, go do this.
I think it's timely and a good idea. Okay. Any other questions for Lex? Okay, Mayor trustee reports. Any trustees have anything they'd like to share?
This the legal report.
Oh, legal, I'm sorry.
No
Dan,
problem, Thank you, Mayor. I don't have anything to report, so you really didn't miss anything, but I'm happy to answer any questions you might have.
Are you happy with the IGA as it's written?
I am. I think it was a long fight, and I think we'll clean it up a little bit next year. We'll see what happens, but I think that this is probably good for both the county and us.
Good.
trustee Woods, do you have anything?
For the
Report for the most?
trustee reports, I do.
Okay, you're next.
So Sandy Hines is working on a poster for us for the Mountain Youth Dance on August 1st. And for our Colorado Day celebration. And I just wondered if anybody had any other thoughts of things we could do that day and anything she could add to the poster.
I think we had decided we would have more discussion, so maybe in our next workshop, we should talk about that day and what it is. We had all said, let's all think about it, what we wanted to possibly do. So I think, thank you, Henry, we need to circle back up on that and,
Yeah, and whenever y'all go to your committee meeting, talk about it at the chamber, talk about it at the marketing committee, talk about it wherever you go to try to get some ideas. If we are doing a community thing, I think we need to have a group of community organizations working on it. I guess the August 1st one would be in Town Park, like that. So there's also the facility rental thing where y'all might want to get that on the calendar. No one's applied to be able to have the park that day. Or if we're doing a community thing, this is something we can say, okay, this is going to take place here. But that's like kind of one of those small little details we probably need to work out. So I'll put it as a discussion item next time. Please talk to your committees and then, and we'll discuss it at the April or mid-March meeting.
that could be part of the committee reports too.
Yeah, please.
That's what
Thank you.
have decided.
You skipped me, by the way.
Oh, I'm sorry. I thought I saw Henry flinch as in raising his hand.
Oh.
We will get back in order here. I'm coming your way. Trustee Lindsay.
It sure seems like I had something, but I can't think of it now.
Aw.
Let me, you talk and maybe I'll think of it,
Okay,
if that's okay. Mr.
that's
Mayor.
fine with me. We'll come around to trustee Bruce.
Well, this isn't really a happy thing, but I just wanted to make the board aware that our town EMS has lost one of its best paramedics, Amanda Hartman. And I am not privy to the details, but apparently she was fired. And there is a group of people that are not happy about that. And they will be addressing the commissioners and probably entering letters to the editor. So just be aware.
If I may, there will be a story and 2 letters in Friday's paper.
Thank you, Jeremy.
Like she knows.
Thank you. And Amanda is being very gracious about it. The people that support her are not being gracious.
Okay, well. And the name of that paper again?
Jonathan, Lake City Times and Reporter.
All right, thank you. I'll make sure.
Yeah.
Okay, trustee Kendall? Anything to report? No. Okay. As mayor, I don't really have anything, special to report other than bring on some sort of moisture, whatever we can get. We need water, so bring it on. And,
I noticed that Joanne's having the people start working on those ponds next week, so.
It should snow.
That'll probably bring on.
yes, there you go.
It could, yeah.
Nope, other than that, I just want to thank all of our staff. I think they're doing a fantastic job. I think we're gearing up as a board for the summer. And,
Absolutely.
Yeah.
this is the time for everybody to breathe a little easier. So, I appreciate everyone. Anything else on that? We will move on to correspondence received. I didn't see any in my packet.
There was just the OHV. There should have been the OHV letter. Oh, yeah, the approval. Yeah, the highway program approval.
That was good.
I heard about that a while ago, so.
And you were at that meeting.
No, I watched it.
Oh, you watched the
You
meeting.
can, you can go back and all, like our meetings, CDOT, all of their workshops, the board meetings are online. And so I went back and watched it. And, since you brought that up, they were very complimentary about how the town and county have handled this and, you know, working together and doing what we can, for the citizens to make this thing work. So they were very complimentary. And I did thank Commissioner Hurd. He's the one that represented at the meeting, and he did a good job. Okay. That was correspondence received. We have no additions to the agenda, so we can move on and get it done. Our first action item this evening is discussion and possible action to adopt Hinsdale County / Town of Lake City evacuation plan.
So moved.
Motion.
Second.
Motion and second. Any discussion? Hearing none, roll call vote, please.
Bruce.
Yes.
Kendall. Yes. Lindsay.
Yes.
Woods. Yes. Roberts.
Yes. Next, discussion and possible action to approve Lake Fork Housing Project conceptual design.
I so move.
I'll second. I'll second.
We have a motion and a second. Any discussion? Hearing none, roll call vote, please.
Bruce.
Yes.
Kendall.
Yes.
Lindsay.
Yes.
Wood.
Yes.
Robert.
Yes. And finally, discussion and possible action to approve 2026 dirt mini grant proposal for Town Park Playground.
So moved.
I'm on the board.
No. Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any discussion? Hearing none, roll call vote.
Bruce.
Yes.
Kendall.
Yes.
Lindsay.
Yes.
Wood.
Yes.
And Robert.
Yes. With nothing more before the board this evening, I conclude our meeting. We are adjourned.
And everyone.
Yeehaw.
Thank you.
Yeah.
It was a small budget, a small